What up, gang? It is your boy Joe with Tang. Happy Friday. Yeah, we're back. Another morning of A Cup of Joe. This is episode number 16. I'm going to be interviewing a pretty cool dude. His name is Avital. I'm going to see if I pronounce his name right. He's coming on at 10:15, by the way. So if you're here for him, just come back in 15 minutes and he'll be here. But he's in a meeting right now. He told me he was going to hop on about 15 minutes late, but I wanted to come on and at least say what's up to you, at least say good morning, give you some great energy. I hope you've had a great week. I'm loving these shows, like literally loving it. I said it yesterday, the connections that I'm building have been far from amazing. The conversations I'm having have been amazing. Post these shows, I'm still interacting with my guests, and my goal with everybody that I bring on here is to at least drive context between like them and I a little bit further. That way, you never know, like friendships, you treat people good. You never know where they can lead you. So anyway, for those of you guys who are hopping on, thank you so much. Hope you guys are doing well. How's your weekend been? I'm literally just going to sit here and just say what's up to you guys. And I see some people in the comment section, so I want to say what's up to people. Allison Adams, I'm having a great day so far. I hope you're having a great day. Amber, what up? Misfit Beauties, I see you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Seriously. Like I said, I have a guest today. I'm getting ready to read off what he's about. Funny story about how I found him, by the way. So his name is Avital. Let me not let my ADD kick in. His name is Avital. I can't. It's really hard to pronounce. Shtapura. And when he comes on, I'm going to ask him just to make sure. He's a cartoon creator. He's an actor. He's a music personality. I found him through Gary V's content. So he is the guy behind Lil V. And actually I was, yeah, you are Misfit Beauties on TikTok. I was, so I get Gary's emails, his weekly emails, and he had one that was related to the subject around TikTok. And Avital was doing one of the segments on there. And I don't know, I said yesterday, I can read energy in people, whether you're in front of me or, whether it's the written word or I'm seeing you on video. And so there was just something about that kid. And I was just like, you know what, it'd be cool to, interact with him and see what he's about. So I actually found him on Instagram. I DM'd him. And this is way before I even started the show, and started following his content. And he's really creative. Like, I don't know if you follow me on Instagram, but I left one of his cartoons that he shared with me to promote the show. And he's super creative. So I'm really looking forward to hearing the story and learning more about him, and just seeing how, he's working with Tito's. He's worked with Gary V. He's really, really young. He started doing cartoons when he was 7. So it's really inspirational to me. And I hope he brings some value to you as well. I'm reading the comments right now. I'm so excited to finally see what's up with the Cup of Joe lives. This is what's up. My guest is going to come on at 10:15. So usually I start right at 10. But I understand work happens, and I'm honored to have every single person who wants to take the time to hang out with me on these morning sessions. So obviously he can make it at 10:15. I said we'll do it then. So I'm spending a lot of this time just kind of recapping and and saying what's up to my audience. So if you guys have any questions for me, this is kind of an AMA moment. Ask me anything. If you want to learn about like what the show is about, Amber, mine too. If you want to know what this show is about, you want to know anything about me personally, if you want to know what I'm up to, if you want to know anything about my guest, I recommend you save those questions about Avital till 10:15ish. But shoot away. I want to spend this time just connecting with everyone who's on. I have 4 peeps on right now. Would love to learn more about you guys. Yo, my week, Allison. My week it's been great. Honestly, I've been putting a lot of energy into trying to figure out like, number one, how can I bring value to the people who come on my show? And since I don't have a huge audience, you know, the biggest thing that I'm saying to people is that the post, I keep saying post, after the show, these recordings are definitely content pieces that they can use to promote themselves, because I want this to be a platform that they can use to promote themselves, because I know they're awesome people already. I follow their content. I know who they are. And so this show is not necessarily about me. It's just about me sitting back, sipping my cup of whatever. I'm drinking tea today, by the way, and listening to these amazing stories and building connections with people who I would have been meeting outside of this show prior to me doing this. So I hope that answers your question. Hey, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So if you're just hopping on, I do have a guest today. I appreciate whoever just hearted me up. I do have a guest today, Avital Shtapura, and we'll find out if I'm saying his name right when he hops on. But for now, we are waiting until 10:15 because that kicks off. So about 10 minutes they'll be on. And so I could have started the show then, but I wanted to hop on early and say what's up to everybody. Hey, Jamie. Your show sounds really cool. Glad to hear your week went well. How was your week, Allison? Yeah, my show, it was inspired by the legend, the man, Gary V. He's always ahead. He's always ahead of everybody. So he started right when this COVID-19 thing started. He started a live show on Facebook called Tea with Gary V, where he's basically just doing what he does with the Ask Gary V show. Like, he's taking on questions from people, right? And so I'm at a place right now where I have an audience that just has massive amounts of questions for me. So I figured, I can use this platform to just feature the conversations that I'm having out there when I'm networking, because like I said earlier, prior to me making this show, I would have been doing these conversations anyways. I'm just a natural networker, and so I thought it'd be valuable to bring you guys into these conversations, because the people I'm interviewing, Misfit Beauties on TikTok, aka Amber, are amazing. And the reason I said her name is because I hope to have her on a show one day. They're amazing people. They're putting in the work. They have amazing brands, and they're just spreading positivity out in the world. And I was like, you know what? Instead of me just having these conversations with myself, let me invite people who I know and people who I care about to join the combo. So I really appreciate the question, Allison. Seriously, that was a good question. Maybe this is a good warm up before I jump into the convo with Avital. Hey, if you have any questions, for someone like Avital, remember, he's a cartoon artist, he's an actor, he's a music artist. Any questions around the subject matter about storytelling, drop them here, because when he gets on, I'm going to make sure I save some time to feature your questions and feature you as well. So start thinking. Start thinking about it. Let me let's start this segment. What's on the top of Joe's mind? I need to create like a little graphic, like a little something, right? I don't know why you make me nervous. I really want to hop on live with you again. I do not know why I make you nervous. You're the first person that's told me that. Usually the feedback I'm getting from people is that I'm easy to talk to. So the fact that you say I'm making you nervous makes me a little nervous to try to figure out like what is actually happening. So don't be nervous. Anyway, what's on the top of Joe's mind? what's been on top of my mind, honestly, is that, I think every single person, and I kid you not, every single person should be doing this. I don't understand, and I'm trying not to be uh, negative about it, about how I'm approaching this situation. But I feel like everybody should be doing some kind of Facebook Live. Everybody has interests. Everybody has some kind of interest. My interest just happens to be in people and branding and marketing, and so these are what these conversations are going to be about. I'm not doing this to be famous, and I think it's funny. Anybody who's out there who has the perception that I'm doing these to be famous or to be some kind of personality is like completely confused. Like, this is just a way for me to offer value to people who I'm networking with by helping them create content. This is a selfish way for me to create content for myself. And this is a cool opportunity to spread positivity out in the world and like build a community around like-minded people, And so around my interest, around the things that I'm interested in. And so I'm baffled that there's so many amazing, awesome people out there who aren't willing to step into this arena and put out their stuff, because I don't consider myself, the greatest communicator. I don't consider myself a radio show podcast personality. I just consider myself someone who's really passionate and love people, and I'm willing to throw myself out there into the world. And I think the thing that helps me is that, like I said earlier, I'm not here trying to be famous, and I think people are confused with the likes and the hearts and the comments and the number of people who are watching the show. Like, none of that phases me. I'm here to, I have 4 people on, 5 people now. Hey, whoever just hopped on, I have 5 people on now. And that means the world to me, because if we all were in the room, like, the energy would be like, it would be like for real. So I just want to, again, extend my gratitude to every single one of you guys for spending time with me. And let me get back in this comment section to see what is up. We have about 4 minutes before Avital pops in the screen, and I'm excited. So let's see what is going on in this comment section. So Amber says, love to hear all the tips on becoming a good storyteller. That is exactly what we do as network marketers. Jamie, hey Jamie, what's going on? Eric Worry has great tips on how to structure your stories. I used to listen to Eric Worry for a long time. Amber, this. We've had conversations. I don't know if I actually told you this, but I was a network marketer at one point. Immediately, actually, so I was a 5th-year senior in college. We're not going to go into that. That's another conversation for its own time. But it took me 5 years to graduate, and that's because I completely dedicated my life to basketball and didn't care about school. But on my 5th year, I realized that I love business, I love entrepreneurship. So let me test the waters and do this MLM thing. And so, like, throughout that phase, I spent like 3 years like really dedicated to it. I discovered Eric Worre, and I do love his content. He's a perfect example of a guy who has a passion of people, has a passion of network marketing, and he's been doing live shows before COVID-19. So I take that back. Like, Gary's been doing this thing, so I'm not gonna, disregard the fact that he's still an innovator. But Eric Worre has been like really consistent, and that's a personality that and actually he would credit a lot of his success to someone like Gary Vee, because I watched that podcast, by the way, Amber. Happy Friday for everybody who's just hopping on for the first time. I'm waiting for I'm actually using this time to connect with everybody who's on here, and I'm waiting for my guest who's going to be off work around 10:15 and going to pop in the show. My guest is an actor. He's a cartoon artist. He's a music artist, and he's just a great kid. And I don't mean kid in a negative way. Like, he's just young, and he's doing so much. Like, he's working with Cheetos. He's working with he's worked with Gary Vee. And so for someone like that, what's up, Gavin? What's up, Gavin? Hope you're doing well. Hope the family and everyone is doing super well. And that sounds dope. Happy Friday. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I have a whole my whole intention with this show is that if I can get a consistent lineup, Amber out there, Amber Oaks, I want to get at least 2 weeks full of guests, right? So far I have almost a week of guests, and they're amazing people. I have, graphic designers. Tomorrow, Saturday, I'm interviewing a mental health a psychiatric nurse practitioner. So that's going to be cool. On Sunday, I'm going to be interviewing a really, really dope graphic designer. Most of these people I'm finding from TikTok. And is it Friday? I don't know what day it is anymore. It's so real. I have to look at my phone every time I hop on these shows. I have to look at my phone and check to see what day it is. So, guys, what's up, Kylie? I see you. Super excited. I'm waiting for my guests to hop on. I'm using this time just to say what's up to everybody and to like spread out some good energy. I know we've been confined in our homes, but I hope, Joshua, what is up? I hope we are using this time. We're taking advantage of this time. I had a conversation with my dad a few times about like the COVID-19, and he actually articulated it well. He was saying that this is a blessing in disguise. Like, this is time for us to like really, really, take time for ourselves, be with our families, work on projects that we haven't, we've been putting out to the side, whether it's cleaning the shed, whether it's cleaning the attic, whether it's cleaning the house, whether it's starting a book, whether it's starting a show, whether it's, spending more time with our families because we're always on the road, things of that nature. So I hope we're really taking advantage of this time. And I'm here literally to invite you into conversations that I'm already having, networking meetings that I'm already having. That's what the Cup of Joe is about. If you guys have any questions, or if you guys have anybody as far as a guest, because I'm getting ready to explain like what kind of guests I'm bringing on this show for any of you newbies. If you guys have any questions for me or my guest, feel free to drop them in the comment section. But the guests that I'm bringing on, the people who I'm networking with, are people who are they have a specific passion, right? They have a topic, an interest that they're talking about, and they're actively sharing their message on social media platforms. Because my whole deal is that this is the era of personal branding. People love to buy things, but they hate being sold to. And I just feel like a company logo is now viewed as just people trying to sell, and a personality is where real relationships are formed. And so I'm bringing these people on as a way for me to not only get a sense of like who they are, but to share with you guys, like you can go anywhere with these conversations and still build a legit, a valuable audience for sure. So there's a guy, his name is the Ant Guy, and all he does is build ant farms. And I think it's amazing. Like, that's all he does. He has a passion in building ant farms, and he's built a massive TikTok account. I don't remember what the number is, but literally just from featuring his ants. And so if that goes to show you, like, I interviewed a guy 2 weeks ago, Andrew, aka the Reese's guy, and all he does is create content around Reese's candy, because he's so passionate about it, and he's built a pretty massive audience of people who are in love with him and the fact that he loves to talk about Reese's candy. So I'm hoping that this, even if you don't stay for the entire length of these conversations, that when I start to break these conversations down into micro segments, I hope that I can bring you some value so that you can see that anybody can do this. Everybody should be doing this. The world has changed forever. This is a revolution, and if you're not accepting that this is going to be the new way of communication, then you're really vulnerable to being left behind. Like, this is it. If you're not paying attention to TV and news, people are going to start seeing that this is way more efficient, and it's just the new way of communication. That's all I can say. So it's 10:18. Avital should be hitting me up any second now. I hope you guys are doing super, super well. Amber, I love the love. What's your favorite chocolate, Amber? That's my question for you. What is your favorite chocolate? I'm gonna use this time as well, guys, to promote a little something. Here we go. So 2 things I want to promote. Number 1, look at that. Joe Tang, if you text that to 474747, you will be featured on one of my shows. Also, it's just my text platform where I'm going to be sending out positive vibes when I can and just like updating you with what I'm up to. The second thing is this format of a show. I'm creating a second show. I've already created it, but it's going to be more consistent starting next week. It's going to be for my hair salon. And we're doing a show where I'm going to be inviting artists from literally all over the world to come on and spread some value out to women who are at home. Hey, Amber, you might want to be a guest on this as well. Spread value to women who are at home during this quarantine period on how they can maintain and innovate their beauty. We've already had episode number 1 done. It was dope, and I know that it's going to bring a lot of value to women and men out there in the world. So I just want to make that announcement. If you're interested, follow Innovative Looks Hair Salon, and you can look forward to more of those shows starting on Monday. My whole team hopping on should do this. Yeah, for sure. Hey, look, Amber, first of all, welcome if you're on Amber's team. That's amazing that you guys decided to hop on to my live. I really, really, really look forward to you guys like hearing this conversation because it's around storytelling. And so if you have questions on like how to be a better storyteller on any of the platforms, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, Facebook, start thinking about what your hurdles are. Start thinking about like your brand, what stories you're trying to tell, and then leave them in the comment section because I know if I can't answer them, I'm pretty sure Avital will be able to answer them at some point. So, Jamie, that's awesome. How big is your team, Amber? And I can't thank you enough for inviting them on here. That's awesome. That's amazing. That's exactly why you should be a guest on the show. Let me do one thing. I'm going to share this to my personal Facebook page, and then I'm going to check in on Avital, but I'll leave some music while you guys are hanging out, and we will resume here in a second. Oh, he said he's coming. It's cool. So I'm just going to share this real quick. Hey. Okay, here it is. There he is. Bring you on, my man. Yo.
What's up?
What is happening? What's going on?
I just got off a call with my adorable coworkers, and it ended up being like just 3 of us, and then just, hey, good morning. Let's talk about spiritual stuff, and it was just really cool. I just joined a new team like this past week, so it's really
cool. What company are you speaking of?
So it's still a Gary Vee's company, but
okay, cool.
I'm now on Team Cheetos versus just like making stuff for his brand.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I saw that in your bio, by the way, and I was like, that's really dope. That's really dope. One of my favorite tips, to be honest with you, is and for all you people who know that I like to be on the diet sometimes, like I do break my diet, and I will break them with the jalapeno Cheetos.
Yeah, I heard those. I never actually had them. My personal pick is Cheeto Puffs. I don't know if that. But, like, because I remember when I was a kid, I thought Flaming Hot were like really spicy, and then afterwards I got into like Indian food and like Thai food. So maybe at this point, if I eat them, I'd be like immune. So I don't know. I gotta try.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I was just telling the guests we have a few people on here. We have so one of my good friends that I met off TikTok, which is really cool. Amber is in the comment section. She actually invited her entire team on here, and so I thought that was pretty cool.
Nice.
She's a network marketer, and so she talks a lot about storytelling, and she wanted to be on here to kind of hear your story and kind of hear how you got started in the world of storytelling. Which, by the way, you said you started at age 7. That's awesome. I would love to hear more about like how you got started in that into that arena here in a second. But first, I wanted to share this on my personal Facebook page so we get some more peeps up in here to see what you're.
Awesome. Oh yeah, I'm so excited to talk. Okay, but I'll wait till you say the word.
No, no, go.
Yeah.
Like whatever you want to say. Like, oh shoot. Like, uh-huh.
Um, yes. More details. I started. I mean, like I always knew that I wanted to be an artist. Like when I was 1 years old, I was already like drawing on all the textbooks and like adding pictures. And my parents didn't stop me. That's very important. 'Cause
That's really important. That's
yeah,
really important. I'm thinking about that. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up.
yeah, because like my parents like enabled me. Like they were constantly like, yeah, do it. Like if you feel something. So then when I was 6, they noticed that I liked drawing, so they put me in a drawing class after school. Like I would just walk across the street, and there would be like a guy waiting for me, like with like
Yeah.
20 other kids, and and he would like make us draw paintings, and I hated it, but I also loved it. I was like, this is torture. I want to draw my own things, but like as a
Yeah.
6-year-old, like what are you gonna draw like a sun? So I was like, like he made me draw Looney Tunes, which I hated because I told him I want to draw cartoons, and he's like, okay, here's a book. He was like a 50-year-old Russian guy, actually
Yeah.
60-year-old. So, so yes, he just dropped this book in front of me and said, trace it and like make it the same. And I'm like, no, I could draw. Can you believe at this moment I was thinking I could draw better than Looney Tunes? So I think that was
This is when you're 7, right?
no, I
Was
was
this like a
like 6. I was 6, and then when I
you
was
were
7,
7. Okay, gotcha.
then when I was 7, I started uploading to YouTube.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And you've been able to build a pretty large audience there from your cartoons, 25K and ascending, correct?
Yes. Yeah. Honestly, it's been interesting because I feel like I never really did the whole path the majority of animators do on YouTube to get like really big, which is, oh, make it really caterable to everybody, make it really like relatable. Like, oh, when you're in school and you do this. But I just, I always had visions and I just wanted to make those. And I could have always gone that route, but I just didn't feel natural. So I just focused more on like, okay, I love these characters. I'm gonna make a 3D animated film about them. Oh, I like this random meme. I'm gonna turn it into some kind of cartoon. So
Yeah.
I never stooped to my own personal low that I didn't want to stoop to.
Gotcha. That makes sense. So real quick, just I want to make sure I'm saying your name correctly. So it's Avital, and let me try it, and then you tell me if I'm wrong. Avital Shtapura.
Yeah, but there's also a T in there.
So you have so the T is not silent. Shtapura.
Yeah, good job.
Okay. So you say it. Let me hear it.
Okay, first of all, can I say you say my name better than I say my name, like my first name? Perfect.
Really?
Like,
Perfect.
Yeah, like so people, because sometimes it's so hard to explain how to say my name. Like Siri can't say my name, but I say Avital. Like it's like, but my parents say Avital because you know, they're Russian and it's a Hebrew name, so it's it's not something that was supposed to happen. This old name.
Yeah, and then I saw Mag as in quotes. What's the story around Mag?
Oh my god, there's this really embarrassing like 2006 YouTube video that I watched where one of my favorite characters from video games says like, I am Maggot Magnet. And I thought it was really funny. And so I just stole that name. And then YouTube thought maggot was a bad word. So I changed it to Mag Magnet. And no one has ever questioned it. And I'm like, all right, well.
That's so funny. That is so funny. So you said something earlier, and then I'm going to jump into more of your story. But you said like, as far as YouTube goes, your path to how you grew your audience was not traditional. So how would you define traditional from like an animator standpoint compared to like how you grew?
I would say like traditional is, hey guys, here's a monthly video about a story that I'm telling versus yeah, you know, like which is like nothing wrong with that. That's awesome.
No, yeah, absolutely, right.
If you feel like that's so showing your soul, great. But I like my own thing was, oh, I'm gonna work every single day when I come home from school, and let's see how many things I can do in those like 7 hours from like 3 p.m. to like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And like also there's homework, but fuck homework.
Right. Look. I was on your YouTube channel watching some of your animations, and the only thing that ran through my mind was obviously number one, amazing stuff, like legit, like because I was a big cartoon watcher. I'm still a big cartoon watcher. I have twins that are 16 months, and I can't wait till like they start getting into cartoons. So, but
cute.
But the other thing that kept running through my mind was how long does it take you to make those animations?
Well, like for example, the one that I'm most proud of was the one that was like my magnum opus in the community of the 3D animations was Scout's High Silk Hat, where I took a VeggieTales song and put new characters to it. That took literally, I think, 2 years or 1 year. I can't remember, but so many videos. I literally did like 70% and then quit. So I lost all those videos, but I would say, yeah, it takes a hell of a long time. But what really matters is like honestly some cartoons I made, like the Family Guy cartoon, took one night of like staying up from I don't know, like 4 to like 4 a.m.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a
So like
serious grind.
it's possible to do something crazy like that, but you have to be inspired by like a literal muse like floating above your head. Like other than that, I can't like possess myself to do that unless I really want to.
Right, very right. So for the audience, Avital, if you could please just like introduce yourself and tell them what you do, so
Sure.
that people have more context into who you are. And then from there, I'm just gonna kind of fill up your vibe. But like, look, the Cup of Joe is pretty laid back. I'm really just making it a platform for you to share your story and share what you're up to because I follow you and I know you're up to amazing things. And I want to spread and fuel the world with more positivity on my show, and that's literally what this is about. So don't
Awesome.
feel free. Went to your website and I love that you're just really like authentic. You put yourself out there, and I think the world needs more people like you. So who are you and what are you up to?
Okay, thank you so much, and also thank you, Amber, so much for the dedication, and Lori for saying you love this. And I just want to say, so my name is Avital Shtapura, and what I do is I make cartoons. I also make music. I try to make it really funny sounding music. I also act, specifically musical theater, but I haven't done that in a long time. I really want to go back to that. I also do improv comedy, which helps me voice cartoons because I also voice act cartoons. And I love writing, as in like literal screenwriting and like thinking of a story and writing like book, small,
Right,
tiny little
right,
fiction
right,
thing.
right, right,
And what else do I do? Paint, schmaint, and
right.
yes. So yes. Like I try to like I literally everything that's related to art I try to do. And everything that's not art, I do a little tiny bit of, like gaming, but that's not really my focus. Oh, and also, I mean, I use my acting skills to make TikToks.
Cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. That's fun. And you know what? That's really, I don't know if you know this,
Uh,
but that's how I discovered you was from a weekly, I don't know what he calls his emails. Anyways, his email platform.
oh, oh, you saw
And
that
you,
video.
and you did a video on TikTok.
Oh,
And it
yeah.
was your presence and like I don't know. I was just like, there's something about you that I want to kind of follow. So I followed you on TikTok. I followed you on Instagram, and I started seeing like you were doing animations. So I was like, yo, you're dope. And so that's what led me to say, you know what, it'd be cool to have you on the show so we could at least vibe out and get to learn more about each other. So
I'm so glad you saw that video because I loved it, and I was really, really nervous because I'm good in front of the camera, in front of myself. But then as soon as other
right,
people are in the room, like
yeah,
I started thinking about them and like, are they bored? Hmm? And so, like the first time I did it, I was like, "Hey, I'm Avital, TikTok." And they were like, "Avital, start again." And I was like, "Thank you for letting me
yeah.
start again." Yeah,
You got a lot of love from that video though. I'm a weird dude. Like I go in the comment section and I read all the comments. So
yes,
people
yeah,
are like, who is this person? Like we never seen like really never really seen your face, and I thought it was cool. I love that
yeah.
you were getting.
No, it's so great that they gave me that opportunity, and now it led to something great.
Yeah. Hey, some people are asking questions already. I just want to kind of
Yes,
jump right in, and
for
then
sure.
like in between I'll be asking questions. But
Yeah.
Amber says, what are some of your top tips for storytelling and developing a creative side?
Wow, you made it pop up. That's so cool. First of all, your screen is awesome. Okay,
Thank
so
you.
what are some of my top? Okay, I want to split this question into two questions because I feel like they're super different. So, like, my top tips to storytelling is so I love the hero's journey, obviously, but I think the most important thing is to literally start writing and stop planning. So I'm a horrible person because I have a show pitch called Chasing Gracie, and I consistently like I know everything about the town, the year, like 1932, the clothes they're wearing, the cars they have, but like no one cares about that because I haven't like written it. So like it's just like when you have a song that you're writing, it doesn't matter how you write it down on a piece of paper, it matters how you play it. Like you could play any song like a genius or like an absolute like street musician, like that's bad because there's a lot of them that are good. So like it totally is about the actual telling, like a start telling, and then like that's
Yeah.
the way that you could actually learn. Because
Yeah.
anybody can say they have an idea, but nobody can say, oh, I wrote it, and halfway through writing it, I realized this character is awful and she makes no sense. So, like, definitely is writing, finishing, publishing, reading the reviews. That's how you learn. So I think me writing fanfics for like 5 years and getting people to actually like my stories versus like me trying to make them bad on purpose, people hate them. But then, like, at some point, I was like, "Oh, I can actually make stories that are good, and then people like them instead of they're so bad, people laugh at them." So, I've been writing comedy for a long time, and people have actually said, "Wow, like I know you because of fan fiction, and then I got into your cartoons afterwards."
Awesome.
So I think it's like you still show yourself and your sense of humor through writing. So, top tips is do it, and also obviously read your favorite books and try to think what they do right and why you love them. Like I love BoJack Horseman because he's a really great, well done character, and there's a great mix of comedy and sadness that I try to put in my own stuff. So yes. Oh, also my TikTok username.
I have it right here. I got you. Just double check me and let me know if it's good. Boom.
Yes, I just changed it actually. It used to be Avital,
cool.
and then people kept calling me Avi, and I'm like, no. So I changed to Avital.
All right. Word. So there he is, and you're everywhere with this, right? YouTube, TikTok. I mean, for the most part, right?
Yeah, but also like you can just Google me and find it all. But
cool,
yeah, because YouTube is different because I made it when I was 10. So it's like, I mean, that was my second YouTube channel. My first one was Avital 99, and then it was Avital's cartoons. Yes.
That's cool. Awesome. Yo, the best thing that you said so far is stop planning and just do, because I think, and that goes for anybody. Like, I'm gonna ask you a question as far as, you know, you said read books and then like figure out your characters and then like literally just write, publish, and then read the reviews is the best way to go. What about people who aren't like, I'm not a big reader. I was, but I'm not really a big fiction reader that much. But I still, you know, try to come up with like unique ways to tell my story. And so what about people who are in that arena? Like what would you recommend for them as far as storytelling?
Like, because I was always confused because about the whole like brand storytelling part.
Yeah, brand storytelling.
Yeah, because like, so when Gary started saying like, oh, it's all about storytelling, I was always like, yeah, but like that's so different than literally having characters that you plunk into a situation and seeing what they do, because you're you, and like you're like, I feel like you're telling your story by breathing and living. Like I don't think you have to worry about, oh, like how do I say it. I think you just gotta like say like your insecurities and what you're worried about, and like sometimes you gotta be confident, sometimes you gotta be unconfident. Like I think all of that is like, I think you tell your story by talking. Like when you write a character, all you got to do is think, okay, what are their motivations? What do they want from this situation? And what are their long-term goals? Like, do they want to take over the world? Okay. And in this situation, they want to get a cup of water from their secretary, you know? So like,
yeah.
I think as long as you yourself know what your goals are, like I'm here because I have a feeling that you have an amazing energy and that I'm going to feel warm talking to you. That's why I'm here. Long term, I want to make people happy and laugh. So like, I'm telling my story because I know those two things. I feel like as soon as somebody is able to identify what they want, short term and long term, then they can be like, oh, now I know, and now I know who I am, and I can start talking. And even if you don't know who you are, like, you know, obviously I'm trans. I had a lot of trouble figuring out who I was and why I was so miserable, and now I'm happier. So I think like I would definitely understand if someone's confused about their identity, but the only way you can stop being confused is if you start talking about it. So I think, yeah, for sure, like just telling your story by being you and not being afraid to admit, I don't know what I'm doing yet.
Absolutely.
And I'll try to take it a little bit like, oh, I'm great at this, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what I love about you is that you're not only authentic, but you're vulnerable. You put yourself out there, right? And I think a lot of people are afraid, and I'm preaching to the choir with you, but like to the audience, what I feel like a lot of people are afraid of. And it's so funny because I had this conversation before you hopped on. I was like, people are really just afraid of, you know, being judged, you know, and I fall in that category all the time. Like it took me a while to start a show like this because I knew that, especially on Facebook, I have so many different audiences that know me from different areas of my life, that different not areas, different areas, different points in my life that I'm like, I don't want to throw myself out there, and they really don't have context as to like what I'm up to. But then I don't care, like I literally don't care, and that's what I'm doing the show about.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I really appreciate you saying that. For everybody out there, like it's really great advice.
It's so true what you're saying. Oh my God. Like constantly when I post something on TikTok, I'm like, oh, is like the popular girl from my high school gonna see this and be like, I want a loser? So,
Exactly, right?
honestly, this is not healthy. I'm sure this is not healthy. But I'm gonna tell you that I am not only my own biggest fan, I'm also my own biggest critic, which I don't think
We
is
all
good, but that's how I roll. So maybe a therapist will help me fix this. But like whenever someone hates on me on TikTok, which it happens, doesn't happen that often, but it happens.
for sure. Yeah.
Um, like someone's like, ah, like this is horrible, but like not even this is horrible, like something really upsetting, like the most upsetting thing you could say, like you're not a man, you suck, and then like,
Mm.
and then I'll be like in my head, I'm like, I have said so many worse things to myself, buddy. You think that's bad?
I love that. That's funny.
Like
That's
my
funny.
mirror screams at me, but like, but
That's funny. I love that.
yeah, I don't think that's the right way to go, but I think that at the moment, I don't know any better way to deal with hate than just to be like, yes, and because like, yes, and is always a great way to go versus saying, no, like, don't say this to me. Just be like, yep, thanks for that. I'm sorry you don't like me, but that's you can't take the heat. Get out of the kitchen. That's what I always say in my brain. Can't take the heat.
I'm stealing both of those. Yes, but my mirror screams louder at me. It's so true.
Yeah.
So true. I think it's perspective, right? I think it's like once you get in that mindset, you're like, no one can say anything really that I either haven't told myself already or that that really hasn't phased me, with words that I've been telling myself. So, anyways, good advice. That's fun. How are you feeling about these times, like, COVID-19? Like, how are you dealing with the situation? How's everybody with your family? Where you calling in from?
So I'm in Sunnyside. It's
Cali.
actually really nice. Yeah, so that's Queens for anybody who's outside of New York. So that's like
Oh,
Manhattan. So
that's
yeah.
not Cali. Oh,
Oh no. Oh wait, is there Sunnyside in Cali?
I said California. Sunnyside for whatever reason because I lived in California and I was Sunnyside. So, anyways, you're in New York.
I should probably move there when I go to California eventually. But so yeah, I mean, so this is Manhattan for anybody who's not from New York. This is Manhattan, like all the way down, and then Sunnyside is like right there. So it's like one stop off the train from into Manhattan, versus like, oh, here you go to Brooklyn, which is a million stops. Like I literally my commute from the VaynerMedia office, the main one, was 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So that's like really good for New York because the subway actually takes a long time. People don't realize that.
Yeah, I bet.
But yeah, so have you ever been to New York?
You know what? I have not. It's on a bucket list of mine.
Oh.
And the two places I want to go to, I obviously want to experience the entire New York, but bucket list places are like, I want to go visit Casey. Casey's 368. Have you been?
No,
Casey
no.
Casey Neistat. He's a YouTuber.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. I want to go visit his little 368 studio. I think that'd be fun. And I also want to touch base with VaynerMedia. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Wait, is Casey's thing open to the public? Anybody can come?
You know what? I have no idea, but just the fact that I want to just go see what's up, and hopefully run into somebody that is doing amazing things in the world would be amazing. But I don't know if it's open to the public. Honestly, I don't think it is. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, but that's really cool. Pandemic wise, so my mom's in Israel with a lot of my family.
Okay.
Yes, which is bad because like she was trying to leave like 2 months ago, but she's like, "Oops, gotta stay." And then yeah, my dad's in Jersey with my brother, who I recently like reconnected with after many years of not talking. So that's good.
Good for y'all.
Yeah,
that's good for y'all.
Yeah. So like, and then I'm all alone here with my two roommates. Nice. It's like a sitcom kind of.
Yeah.
Right.
What are you making of this whole situation?
Honestly, this is gonna sound very strange. But I always said that strangers who get stuck in an elevator together become better friends. So like that's why I'm obsessed. So I'm obsessed with some vintage stuff. So like I really like the Great Depression because it was the only time in America where like 90% of Americans were really poor and needed a job and wanted to be friends all of a sudden and say, hey, I can help you, you can help me, give me bread, give me coffee. So I think like it was a really beautiful era. And I think that we're approaching something very similar where like everybody has the same problem. Hey, we can't go and do what we want to do. Our plans are canceled, and we're all crying together. And I think that's going to lead to a lot of hugs and a lot of love. And I'm an advocate of hugs, love, and peace. And I think when there's a common enemy, there's a more peace. So, not that I ever would advocate for anything like this, but I think that's
No, absolutely. I hear what you're saying, and I love that. I love that. I think, wow, those who say it again, those who are in the elevator together, to get stuck.
Yeah, strangers in an elevator make friends.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's awesome. So you have the right, and I'm not judging right or bad perspective, but you have a pretty unique perspective on it because you're more seeing it as, hey, this is good for everybody in a sense, right? Yeah. Cool. So that was a question I was going to ask you. On your website, you mentioned that you were really into the 40s and the 50s. Like, that's just been something that you've been into for a long time. Because the first thing that comes to my mind, and this might be completely left field, but I don't know why Mad Men comes up. When was that show created?
That I don't know when it was created.
I just feel like you're the type of personality that would appreciate a show like that.
And I feel like I should, because I keep thinking about it, and people keep comparing me. Because I also like want to, I want to be sort of gentlemanly. Sometimes people are like, "Oh, is it called a man one?" And I'm like, "Is it? I don't know." Because I never watched the show because I have a problem where I think all fictional characters are real. I don't know if it's like whenever one of them dies or something,
it hits you heavy.
Hard. So I can't watch horror movies, and I can't watch really, really sad things, because then I start like being like, oh no, I feel so bad for them, even though they're not real. So like I'm afraid to watch Mad Men if it's too intense, because that's why I like comedies, because no one really gets hurt.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So like that's why BoJack was like, I care about these characters, but they're dying. Like, so that was like really intense for me. That was like probably the craziest thing I've watched in that sense. But yes, I want to watch Mad Men. But I was obsessed with vintage stuff and medieval times when I was about like 6, 7 years old. I would write a bunch of stories about like medieval times, and I like vintage, but I just anything old. I didn't really care what time period. But then recently, I've been like, oh, I like these decades, So that's how it's been.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm really into vintage as well.
Yeah.
Here's a question for you. You mentioned that you, instead of pursuing like education, you decided to say, hey, let me jump into the industry. That was really inspiring of you because how old are you, by the way? You don't mind me asking?
Oh yeah, so I just turned 21.
Happy birthday! Hey, his birthday was yesterday. Awesome. What do you do? Like, how do you even celebrate that? Because I saw your photo you posted on IG, but I was like, I'm curious how you even celebrate your birthday.
It was mostly just answering FaceTime calls with my family, and then like, I mean, it was fun, but it's like a lot of calls. And then I have here. There's my one. Can you see that? My one bucket of beer that I was drinking the entire day.
Oh yeah, I see it. Gotcha. Cool.
I'm such a lightweight. Like I would have like 1/4 of it, and I'd be like, "Whoa, bro!" So like, literally,
Does it enhance the creativity, you think, or does it like completely take away from?
Here's what it does for me. So it makes me like not realize what's funny to me and what's funny to other people. So like I made TikToks, but smartly I didn't post them. And now I'm watching them, I'm like, this is not funny. It's like me like, like check it out, guys. I'm like, what? So but it's like I feel like oh, thank you guys, thank you Amber, Tara, Lori, Jamie.
You made you laugh for sure. Oh, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about your decision to dive straight into the industry, because that's a courageous thing. That's a courageous thing to do at your age. Honestly, like not joking. For anybody, I think, regardless of age, it's hard to just jump into an industry. But like you doing it at a young age is super inspiring. So, where was your mind during that time, and what made you say, you know what, I'm going to take a leap of faith and go into it? And how did you end up at Vayner?
Oh, that was a weird time. So that was actually like the worst year of my life, because I was living with the guy that I was dating, and had to come out because I couldn't eat food. Like, not eating disorder, my body wouldn't digest food. And I would every single day like I couldn't leave the house without like one anxiety attack, which is really bad. So I was like, this is the worst time of my life. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I just can't do it anymore. It turns out I hated SVA. Obviously, I needed to come out, but also I hated SVA because like
Mhm.
I asked them, hey guys, 3D is horrible. Here's an abusive teacher. I have a recording of him yelling at a student, fuck you, you're never gonna go anywhere. And I was like,
Wow.
that's the opposite of what I want from SVA. All these years that I've taken SVA classes, they've said,
Yeah.
hey, you're like a flower blooming, we'll help you. Versus you suck. Like I can't. Like I'm like sort of like I have heroic moments where I
Yeah.
really want to like punch people in the face to
For sure.
save someone who's being hurt.
For
So
sure.
like I was like every time I would go to that class, I would like try not to explode because I want to protect my friends, and this guy's yelling at them. So I showed the recording, and SVA's like, we don't really care. That's just his personality. I'm like, but
Oh, that's whack.
yeah, and I'm like, yo, but he's abusive. Like that's not helpful. Like I don't know anybody who needs that. So that was the first straw. And then the second straw is I said, guys, I'm realizing that I don't want to do 3D because I don't want to sit and make chairs for a living instead of actually making stories. So
Right.
I want to change to 2D. Here, check it out. Like, oh yeah, and then while I was facing all this, Vayner, I applied to 20 sites at 2 a.m. for no reason, even though I'm in college.
You just like started sending some
I
applications
was
to this.
possessed by something. Like I was like sending applications like I don't know why this doesn't make any sense, but I'm just gonna try for an internship. I look at VaynerMedia. I'm like, what the hell is VaynerMedia? I don't know. Who's this Gary Vee guy? Okay,
So you listened to my Gary Vee before you started applying. That's amazing. That's cool.
I didn't know jack squat about this guy. I was like, huh. I like so I watched it. I was like, trash talk's pretty funny. Okay, and so like the internship was, hey, work on a cartoon pilot and animate for us, and I was like, hell yeah, little. And I saw that they wrote little V in the description. Thank you. And it's like, yeah, little V. So it was the three of us making that cartoon that was grind hard. So I was half in school, half doing that cartoon. Then I say to SCA, hey, I have a job making a 2D animated cartoon. Maybe I should transfer to a 2D major. And they're like,
Right.
you know what, Avital? You're just not talented enough and we need more experience. I'm like, okay, here's my reels, here's my work, blah, blah. You really need more. And then I was like, wait a second. Are you guys just trying to get money out of me? And then I said that to them, which is not like me. I'm very non-confrontational. I was
Right.
meeting with these two men from the college. And I said, you know what, guys? I have a feeling that you're just trying to make me go for an extra year, even though I went to 6 pre-college years. I mean, like 6 pre-college classes over the course of 4 years before I even went here. I already spent thousands of dollars. I think I should go to 2D instantly. And plus, I already showed you I have a job in the industry. So I don't really know why I should. They're like, you know what, sir? I mean, they didn't say sir. I was still a girl. You know what, Avatar? If I was you, I would do the job. But obviously, come to our school and make us money. I was like, I'll take your word for it then. You're being D-bags. I'm out of here. So at my dream school, I said fuck it. And that was tough. Because all my friends were like, but Avatar will miss you. So that was grading. But then also I was living with the guy at the time. So
Right.
that was when I also moved out. And then also I came out. So I was like 30.
So it's intense, like from an emotional standpoint for you, right?
It was intense.
Yeah.
Also, all my health problems went away as soon as not as soon as I accepted the job. I still have health problems. Then when I came out, everything was gone. I was like, oh, wow, now I could eat, not panic, sleep. And then when I like that was when I came out at work. Of course, it was still tough. For the longest time, it sounded like I was saying, hey, like, what's up, guys? With my like female voice being like, call me he. And it was tough. And I feel bad for anybody that's coming out without hormones yet, because that was my position and it was really hard. But yes, yeah, thank you, Lori. Yeah, it was all about going with my gut. That was the biggest part of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Because my gut was telling me something was wrong. That was the biggest thing.
Yeah, big time. What would be your main lesson learned from all that?
That I should have been more assertive when I was 13 when I came out the first time, and I told everybody, "Listen, guys, I know this is true." And then I went upstairs to my parents, guys. I'm a guy. I need therapy. Please help. No, you're not. Avital.
Right.
Don't be ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then, so like that was Russian mentality is therapy is BS. So
Can I say this too while you're
yeah.
saying your story? Because I'm from a family who's from overseas as well, Africa,
Wow.
and I just know the mentality there as well is like it has to be similar, right? The foreign mentality, and so like for you to be able to like go to your parents and share with them like, hey, I'm not who you think I am. Like I'm so curious like how that was received, from an energy standpoint, because I mean, that's a bold move, right? For especially like foreign parents and like beliefs are strong, right? And so, like,
Wow.
this is
So you're first generation?
I'm first generation Cameroonian.
Ooh, oh my God, Cameroon,
Yeah.
that's so cool. Wow.
Yeah.
So do you speak another language too?
Say it again.
Do you speak another language?
I'm ashamed to say that I don't.
Oh, yeah, don't be ashamed. Okay.
My brothers and sisters, they speak French now. There's a broken English of it's called Pidgin English that
Right.
I can understand it, I can speak it, but it's not considered a like you can't. It's not considered a language like in any textbook means, right?
I would consider it a language because it's a whole new group of people that you could talk to.
For sure, it's a way of communication. So yeah, to answer your question, I guess I do in that sense. But as far as like French or anything like that, I don't.
Like, because I consider Scottish even a different language.
Yeah.
Sounds different to me. I can't understand it. So like for sure, I'm sure like whatever pidgin language that sounds really cool.
Yeah, for sure.
But oh yeah, how my parents took it the first time.
Right.
Pretty much like, listen, Avital, this phase is interesting. we can't wait to see what you're gonna say 2 years from now. But good luck. And then I told my guidance counselor in school. I was like, hey, so I'm a guy. And then he's like, okay, what sport do you like? I'm like, but I don't like sports. I'm an artist.
Right.
And then he says, okay, well, you better like sports. Come back to me when you decide. So I came back to him, and I said,
interesting that's the response.
It's a very bad response because it makes me very invalidated, and it's sort of like a gatekeeping. And so I said to him, okay, I want a skateboard. He's like, okay, well, come back with a skateboard. And so I came back. I went to the store with my parents, and I said, guys, buy me a skateboard. And they're like, why? And I said, because my guidance counselor said I should. I go there, and I try to do it, and I feel humiliated, and then I quit. And then I said, you know what? This just isn't worth it. And I think that was the plot of the guidance counselor to purposely make me quit.
Right.
And I talked to my sister who was a psychologist, and she also told me this phase is very interesting. But you're gonna get out of it. Like everybody, and then all my friends were like, what's wrong with you? And then the one really weird, impulsive, like kind of stonerish kid in my middle school was like, so you're a guy? And I'm like, yeah. So what's your guy name? And I'm like, Josh. And he's like, okay, bro, I'll call you Josh. He was the only guy that fucking took me seriously, and that made such a difference.
Are you still connected on any means, or okay?
He was doing it as a joke. Like he was like, it was like, that kind of half bullying. Sometimes girls do it where they're like, yeah, like you can come, like, but there's still like. They mean it in like an ironic way, but it was still supportive. So he was the only one that ironically supported me.
Yeah.
And honestly, he made my life better. So I love that guy.
That's cool. Everybody comes in your life for a reason, right? You've heard that saying before. That's funny.
Interesting. Yeah.
Super interesting.
That's a beautiful way to think.
Yeah.
But yeah. So then this time when I came out, it was way better, and people actually handled it nicely. And
was it just your perspective on life at the time? Like were you just like, fuck it, like I don't care what anybody has to, like I'm doing me. I want to feel like what was it that changed?
Thank you. I think what changed was I was just so pissed off that I wasted 6 years of especially my romantic life, forced into a role I didn't want. Because I kept telling people I don't want to be a girlfriend. I don't know why this makes me feel agita and stomach pain, but I still did it because I wanted to impress the people, and I wanted to impress my parents. And I was like, why am I what? Like it's like I am supposed to impress me. So like I think I was just so pissed off that everybody made me act a certain way for so long. And I think as soon as that, oh, lesson, like that wholeheartedly. Oh,
I know. They're amazing. The audience is like really engaged. Tara says, "Love this so much." Hey, we love you back. I know I'm speaking on behalf of Avital, but I can already feel the vibes from Avital. I know he's loving this. So uh, keep going. Like for real, you're offering so much value to like people out there who are not only dealing with your situation, but like just dealing with anything in life that they're insecure about, right? Or that they
yeah.
were insecure about at some point. And I think that all goes back to kind of what my message is on my personal show, which is be willing to break those barriers so that you can communicate your story wholeheartedly and authentically, because this is the era for that, and that's just my personal beliefs. I think these are the times where people need to like literally show who they really are, and it will be accepted completely.
Yeah. And even if they're not, like, don't listen. Because
Yeah,
I'm just so mad that I listened. Like I'm so mad that, like, because that's the thing people always say. They say, oh, like, listen to me, I have really good advice, I know what's best for you. And of course parents say that because they're number one. And so I think the hardest part is, yeah, but only you know you, and only you know how happy you can be doing whatever it is you want to do. Like I know how Gary's always like, yo, like, if you want to be a janitor, be a janitor. Like, if you want to, and like people are gonna tell you no, but okay, like, but like, fuck their opinion. And obviously, so easy to say, so hard to do. Like, so hard to do. And obviously, I still care about opinions. I still take, like,
we're
somebody.
human, so that's gonna happen.
Oh, wait, what?
I said we're human. That's gonna happen, right? Like we're still gonna care. Like as much as
Yeah.
I'm gonna sit in front of the camera and be like, oh well, now I'm like, forget everybody who thinks or judges me, whatever. Like I'm gonna do this show. Like I still have moments where I'm like, but am I really supposed to be doing this? Like but you just have to stay in your head, and know like what makes you happy.
Like sometimes it helps me to think what I'm doing this against. Like, oh, I'm making beautiful art against all the hateful and intolerant art.
I
And
love
so,
that.
like,
I love that.
so you could always say, oh, I'm making this show for all the people that told me that I wasn't, like, I don't know, that I couldn't do it, that I didn't have enough to say, and like, or some like awful other hurtful truth. Like, you can say, I'm doing this against that energy to prove that that's not
Mm,
true. Like,
mm.
um I find that really does help me
That's
sometimes.
That's amazing. So look, what I think is fascinating about your story is that you already had so much experience as far as like adversity and like coming into like who you really are before you met someone like Gary Vee who's pushing that content to like help people with that. So how long have you been working for Vayner and Gary?
So, for Gary, I mean, it was tough because the first half of it was like little V, so like that was like super different, and then it became okay. Now make comics for Gary and his message, and that's when I really had, and like I'm watching TikToks, I had to really learn who he was and like what he was preaching, and I was like, oh, same stuff, like.
Yeah,
I pretty
right.
much agree in almost everything, except I get mad when he's like, "Fuck art," and I'm like, but like, and like,
Yeah.
and also like, I don't care about sports, so also like when he's like, "Sports," I'm like, well, okay, well, I don't really care, but because I mean, I want to care, but I don't have something in my heart, and I think that's the same with him. So like, I think he's very like sure about what he likes and what he doesn't like, and so am I. So like, there's a little bit of that, but
Yeah.
overall, deep in our soul, we are very much like the same, like, go-getter.
Mm-hmm.
Like something like when we talk, there's a little bit of that, and there's like I care so much about him. Like when I talk to him, I'm always like, Gary, you're such a nice person. You are just so good. Like I feel like it's like a, like, I keep on wanting to take care of him because he's so much like my own family.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, like I just want to be like, I know what to do. Like, you need to do this, you need to feel this, you need to feel good about like that. And right before Corona happened, I told him the most ridiculous thing in a meeting with him. I said, Gary, first of all, I love you. And I found this old video where he was saying that some people need to meditate more. I mean, not meditate, like find themselves and like
Yeah.
and so but it was like really, really specific. I'm not gonna get into it because I feel like it might be a little bit embarrassing for him for me to detail. But he said like, oh, they should do this very specific thing. Talk to their dad about what happened when they were exactly this age. And I was like, whoa, Gary, look at this video from 6 years ago. I mean, from 4 years ago. And then he was like, Avital, you're right. A lot of stuff is going on in that video. I've solved a lot of it since then, but that is definitely something that is like subconscious. And so and then so yeah, I was just like very much like, listen, you should do all this. You should learn more about, like, you should try to unlock whatever is inside that is bothering you, because I think something is bothering you, and you should also like try to go on vacation, because in the video he said some people need to go on a vacation, but they're afraid to do that.
Right.
Because they're afraid of the judgment, they're afraid to lose whatever business they're doing. And I'm like, this is about you. And so then right when I said that, like, don't be like, meditate more, blah blah. Then Corona happened, and then I talked to him again, and he said, like, but it was in front of everybody. I asked, oh, what was the happiest thing that you did because of Corona? And then he said, like, obviously to play football with his son. I knew he was going to say that. And then he said, also, I unlocked a new happiness that I didn't know I had, which was I'm allowed to stay home and vacation, and also I can get work done. And that made me realize for the first time in like 20 years that I can go on the beach in Aruba and still get work done.
That's amazing.
And I was like, oh my God, my advice came true.
That's amazing, dude. That's huge. That's huge, because that's kind of similar to like the conversation I don't know if you were on when I was saying that my dad and I have been having conversations, but like that's literally how he felt as well, because he has that mentality of like, work. I mean, since I was young, he's been like working, like fearlessly, right? So that's cool. That's cool that you were able to impact him on that level. Like, awesome. Kudos to you.
And I felt so embarrassed after that meeting, like, because I trusted my intuition and I just told him what I thought I should tell him. But then when I exited the meeting, I was like, what have I done? He hates me now. But I mean, my brain turned to the worst.
No, for sure. Yeah.
Because in the moment, he was like, no, like, I don't want to hear this. I don't agree with you. I appreciate that you care about me, but this is not relevant to my life. But then Corona happened and it did become relevant. So my intuition was right. And even though I was fiercely embarrassed, like, first thing I think was, like, end me. That was awful. What have I done? But then it was so worth it. So I think it's great. I learned to, for sure, trust my intuition.
I'm gonna get back to a question I have after we Amber has a question. She said, what's your best tips for discovering things you love?
I have so many things that I love. It's so tough. I don't know if I've ever discovered something that I love. Honestly, okay, the most recent thing that not recent, but when I discovered improv, I was shocked because I saw it, and what it really is you literally see people go on a stage with nothing, and logically you would shit your pants because you have a whole audience waiting to laugh and being like, give me. But then you're on a team together and you have to come up with something. And like, the improv I saw was so incredibly funny and like cry laughing worthy. It was better. It was Vern the musical. It's an improvised musical with a piano. So imagine 6 people singing together. Hey, like, so I think when I saw improv be done, and it's all about yes and like, no matter how stupid an idea is, you have to run with it. And that friendliness is like, whoa, that's so powerful. It's so much better than a scripted thing, because all of a sudden, like, you get to laugh at someone like doesn't know what something is, and they're like, broccoli, and then everyone's like, yeah, it's impossible to explain. Something impossible to explain. I don't know if you've ever seen Whose Line, the show.
I don't think I've seen it. I'm really bad with TV shows or whatever. I'm even surprised. Like, I brought up Mad Men because that's the only TV show I really watch. But outside of that, like,
I watched nothing. I'm so out of it completely. But Whose Line Is It Anyway is a show that really inspired me as a kid. It was just like they would say, okay, here's prompts from a hat, and you take it out, and you have to do this. Like, a banker goes on a date. That's all you get. And you go on stage. Good luck. Be funny. And like,
wow,
so hard, hard. And stand up, they memorize it. Jerry Seinfeld has a book of it that he like reads it, and then he
really, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Like, that is like cool. So like, I think when I saw Amber knows. When I saw improv as a kid, I was always like, I love that. Okay. And then when I saw it as an adult, I was like, yo, I can do that. The only difference is these people weren't afraid to practice. That's
Mm,
how they got good. So like I think the best thing to discovering things you love is think what you admire, why it inspires you. Like, oh shit, those people are really funny because they're not afraid. I guess I have to be not afraid. So I think like for sure, look at what you love. Like even if it's like something that you think you could never do, like oh, like people always say, well, I could never be a musician, but it's like, why are you saying you could never? Just try. Maybe you suck, but try.
right. All right. We had a question that came up from Jamie. Whose line is it anyway?
You need to like it's the show.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
gotcha. So this comes from a show?
Yeah, whose line is it anyway is the name of the show.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah.
See, I'm not even in. I'm like, okay, she has a question. What's the question?
Why are there so many periods? Where's the question mark?
That's hilarious. That's cool. I'm gonna check it out now that you said it. The only person that I know, I don't know if he does improv. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know. Joe Rogan. I follow Joe Rogan a lot.
Joe
Uh,
Rogan. I mean, like,
yeah,
like I've seen clips because I feel like majority of people who are into entrepreneurship love Joe Rogan.
yeah. Exactly. You either love or you like don't like him at all, right? So, anyways, he does comedy, and I'm not sure if he does like any improv, but it's Seinfeld. I know does a lot of that, and it's cool that you said the whole practice and memorizing. And you said something earlier that I want you to repeat, especially for people in the audience, about like finding the thing that you love. Is you said what is one thing that you want to get better at? Is that what you said?
Or like something that you admire in
It's something that you admire.
yeah, like something that you think, yo, like that's so cool. I could never do that. Like,
Mm,
it's interesting. Like,
yeah. That's a cool question of the day. Like, what is something that you admire? That you think to yourself, like, oh, I could never do that, or oh, I would love to do that. I'm so curious to know, like, where everybody's at with that question.
Yeah, I mean, people in the comments for sure. I'm really curious because, like,
Yeah.
like someone thinks it's the coolest thing ever to be like a wrestling champion, and someone else is like I couldn't give less of a crap, or
Right.
like somebody's dream. Public speaking. Oh Lord, it's so cool. But what kind of public speaking? I'm curious.
Right. That's a good. That's a good follow up question
Yeah,
because there's different forms of
there's
speaking.
so many ways. Like you because you could comedy is public speaking too, but like maybe it's something more like a TED talk.
Yeah. Right.
Which honestly, yes, like I would be scared crapless.
Do you have any tips for staying motivated to try and grow in a skill or area of interest?
Honestly, maybe this is maybe this is not advice for everybody, but I think I think if you're not motivated in doing something, then there's a reason you're not motivated, and maybe it's because you're not having fun. And I think if you're not having fun, I don't know why you would pursue it, unless like even if it's not fun. Like when I'm drawing and I get frustrated because a painting looks wrong, I still am having fun because I'm solving the problem. So I think
Right.
if you're
Like even though there's frustration there, you're still having fun trying to figure out
yeah,
the challenge. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
what like if I'm what when I'm saying when, but this like it happens very rarely. When I'm actually working out in like a workout versus just dancing, then it's like I don't have fun. It's torture for me, and I don't feel motivated. But I know I have to grow because I know I want to look a certain way. So I think like for me, that's something I'm not passionate about. I can't give you advice because my mom has a thing where she never does something that she doesn't like, ever. She only washes dishes if she wants to. So,
Your mom is a savage.
but she's smart. She makes herself want to. So she makes herself want to clean the house, and then she cleans the house. She waits.
No, and that makes sense
Yeah,
because she does it with peace, right?
right. Yeah. So like then like when you actually do it, you're like, whoa, yeah, I'm actually doing it. But that's why like I don't know. I don't know how to do something that you don't like. That's why like I'm bad at math. Not I'm not abysmal, but I'm pretty awful. And so I got bad grades. I got like not awful. Honestly, math I was okay. I got like C's, but like I got B's and a little bit of C's. But for example, I think it was physics. No, chemistry. because I refuse to memorize useless information that doesn't help me.
Right.
I can memorize the script because I can imagine them going up and saying it, which I love to do, and I'm sad I don't do it more often. But I couldn't see the purpose in memorizing that, so I just couldn't. I couldn't do it, and I failed.
Because then you ask yourself, like, really, and I don't want to go down this rabbit hole, but it's just a common sense question of like, how many of those things that they were asking us to memorize are we actually using in the practical world, right? So,
Yes.
like,
I hate to complain about that because it could be very interesting. It could be very fascinating. For example, I'm reading a book. I'm reading the Canterbury Tales, but no one's gonna give me a test about it. I'm reading it because I feel it's fun, and I'm motivated to read it because when I read it, I giggle at the hilarious bad Middle English. I think it's fun. So at chemistry, I have no. I mean, at chemistry, I have no reason to do it. I don't feel fun. I don't get it. I'm only into the humanities. I like people. I don't understand equations. They have no face.
right,
So,
right.
so I think I'm sorry, I don't have any tips for staying motivated in a skill you don't like. In a skill you like, I think you can motivate yourself by saying, like,
I love it.
I love this, and I know it's bad right now, and I know that I'm having a struggle, but the only way to get past it is to keep having fun. And frustration is part of the fun, and you don't get to have euphoria unless you have dysphoria about your art.
Yeah, right. I think I piggyback off of what you're saying. I think literally, like, you have to find those things that you actually love. Even if you hit a hurdle or a challenge within that thing that you're doing, you have to go back and remind yourself, why am I doing these things? And if you can't continuously find like positive things to say about the thing that you're doing, then honestly, I agree with you. Like, you have to take a step back and say, do I really love this thing or not? And I think it's one of those things where you have to be easy with yourself too. Like, you can't be hard on yourself to like force yourself to find out what you love. It has to come natural, I think.
For sure.
Yeah, I think a lot of people put a lot of stress into like, I have to find what I love, like, especially with this whole big talk of like personal branding and all that. It's like everybody tries to put that pressure on. I have to find what I love. I have to find what I love. And I love going back to what you said earlier in the beginning of the show, is like, your story is your brand. Like, who you are is your brand. Like, we literally sat here and heard you share your story, right? And that's what makes you you. And I think that's what's cool about it. So
yeah, like a story is not something that you plan. You just gotta live it. And like, there's 1,000 million people who don't know what they want, but that's interesting. Like, I don't know. There was this one guy on TikTok. I want to find his name. He was on the Gary V morning with Gary V. He's
guy.
Guy.
Who is it? Ant Farm?
Yeah, I don't know if you saw him.
It's so funny you bring him up. I was talking about him before you hopped on. He's going to be a guest on the show too.
He is a sweetheart. We're TikTok buddies. He is the nicest man. He is so adorable. And so he was actually struggling because on his TikTok, he posted that, hey guys, somebody has an ant farm and they got more popular than me, and I'm really upset. You saw that one? You saw that?
Yeah, I saw that one.
And I left a comment. I'm like, bro, you got it all wrong. We love you. We don't care about we care about the ants because that's part of it. But we love you. We like how you talk. We like how you explain it. Like,
right.
There's a million chefs. There's a million writers, but there's only one you.
Yeah, for sure. That's cool. So how much time are you spending on TikTok?
Like, you mean making or watching?
Both. Just at this over.
God, you know what? I'm gonna give you the real answer because can't I go on my phone and find out? Right? Screen time.
True.
Okay. No. Oh wait, no. Oh my God. Is this per day?
That looks like per day for sure. Oh, it says this week though.
Yeah. Is it per week or per day? Because per day, 9 hours of TikTok. That is bad. I don't. That's not the case. Is it the case?
Except today, I don't know. I don't know if that's per day or per week, but that's intense.
Yo, can you believe that? Messages 1 hour. So maybe that is per day. Oh no!
Yeah.
Don't tell
if anybody knows how the screen time works, like, is that per day? Look, I don't even look at my screen time because I just don't even want to. Oh, okay, cool. Gotcha.
Thank the Lord. I didn't want to. Didn't want to have 9 hours of TikTok. I was like, it's a full-time job. Holy moly!
Yeah, for real. It is though. Like, number one, it's real entertainment, and then number two, like, it can be a full-time job if you're creating content on there. So that's funny. I love TikTok because it gives you the answers. Like it's one of those platforms where to create, you literally just have to kind of see what music's trending, what people are doing, and then you can kind of mimic in your own way. Like that's been the best thing about TikTok, in my opinion.
Am I following you on TikTok? No, right?
I think you're following me, maybe. I don't know. It's just JOEATANG.
What do you post?
Like what kind of content do I post?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm really into positivity, man. Like being a good human, you know, because I like to keep it real as far as inspiring people to be themselves, you know, and take care of other people, because I feel like at 30 I'm 33, and so my entire life, man, I feel like just if I was to summarize it, it's come down to relationships. Like the reason I'm here today is because of relationships, and so I feel like in order to be a good person in a relationship, you have to be good to yourself, right? And so I'm always like trying to like share that, and I'm sharing my journey as well, like who I am, and working with my mom's salon and things of that nature. But that's the kind of content I'm posting. Yeah. What are you posting on yours? Are you posting a lot of animation?
No. I mean, I posted like a few, but like the time it takes is just not worth it. So it's mostly just shit posts and me doing voices and me being like an idiot. And sometimes inspiration doesn't come, but that's okay.
Right.
So,
Right.
but like a lot
Yeah.
of it is like trying random things and seeing what flops and seeing what lands.
Right. Kind of testing it out. That's cool.
Yeah.
All right. So I wanna do some rapid fire, because I try to keep the show super tight.
Yeah.
But rapid fire. What's going back to my original question about like how you got to Vayner and working with Gary Vee after you already had this much life experience? What's been the biggest thing you've learned from him?
From him or from like the team?
Let's go with both.
Okay, from him. Like in real life, like real Gary.
Yeah, it's like just real, yeah, real Gary, yeah.
Honestly, I wouldn't really say that I learned from real life Gary, because I never ask him anything that I don't know, because I feel like I already know my own answers.
Okay, what about the brand Gary? What did you learn from that?
I learned from them. I learned from them pretty much. Holy shit, I can do so much because they make you do like 5,000 things a day, and I was like, yo, that can like it's literally like doing push-ups. Like make 3 comics a day. In the beginning, I would say, fuck no. How? Are you crazy? No. But then slowly they like immerse the lobster into the water.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, oh, I'm making 3 comics a day now. And then like it happened over a course of a long time. So I learned about myself. Yo, like I learned how to draw so much better. My art improved massively.
That's cool.
I learned how to edit TikToks really, really well.
That's
like
awesome.
on computer, which is very useful. I learned so much about branding, so much about memes, so much about how to post, and most importantly, actually, I got an Instagram as a result of that, because actually I quit my Instagram, and then I never used it. And then after Team Gary, I was like, yo, Instagram is where the attention is. And every time I ask someone what their main platform is, they always say Instagram. I can't believe I was missing out.
Wow.
So like they taught me, yo, keep being everywhere. It's okay to be everywhere. It's not annoying. People like to look at you.
Yeah, that's huge. That's cool. Are you would you say you're living your passion right now? Are you living your passion? Are you, because my original question was, what's your goal? What's your objective? What are you working towards? But then I was thinking to myself, I was like, what are you? I feel like you're living your passion, doing what you do with the animations and everything.
I wouldn't say I'm living my passions right now, because my passion is actually to be a storyboard artist in a writer's room in LA working on a cartoon. Not in LA, but like in a sunny place working in the cartoon.
Yeah.
So like this isn't quite exactly what my dream goal is, but that's okay. I'm 5, like I'm a baby. I'm 5 years old. Like I don't have to I don't have to do what I want to do immediately, or else it wouldn't have any specialness. So I'm working towards it, and I think like that's fine too. Like I think I'm saving up now, then eventually when I'm not scared, I can go.
Smart.
Yeah.
Cool. And then if you were on the Ellen show, you know Ellen, right?
Yeah.
Ellen, yeah. Have you ever met her? Just curious.
Oh my god, thank you for that. That's such a nice thing to say. No, I want to meet her. That's so cool that like
you never know who runs through Vayner Media. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. So
I met a few people because they walked in to meet Gary.
Yeah. That's so. Who's okay? Sorry, I'm going all over the place. But who's some random people you met? Who's some random people you met?
Emil, I freaked out. her and Gary had very conflicting conversation. That it is a crazy convo. You should check it out. Her and Jamila Jamil. She's like,
Is it published? Is it published on anywhere on YouTube?
yes. Yeah,
okay.
So for anybody who doesn't know, she's like an actress, hilarious, on The Good Place, and very great body positivity person who like loves like all bodies and stuff. But like, oh my god, her and Gary did not have the same vibe. Like he was like, "So, what's your favorite cereal?" And she was like, "I want to talk about like acceptance." And like it was just such a cool. But then afterwards, like I just love her. So I said, "Jamila, like you were awesome. Like that was so cool. You guys were just like going back and forth. It was so like strong." And she's like, "Oh really? I thought it was like I thought we were in a squabble." And then I gave her a hug. She hugs so nice, and I was the only one she hugged. Oh, I think Mr. Joe's frozen, but I don't know. Let me check. Is it just me? Hello. I don't know what the deal is. I just texted Mr. Joe. I don't want to get out of here because I love this. So I don't know if I should call him. I don't know.
Are we back?
Yes. Oh my god, hi. I was so worried.
Yo, I don't know what happened. That was definitely me. And you held it down for me. I think something happened. I think a tree fell on the power line or something weird happened because the entire energy just went out and I heard some weird out here. So hopefully everything's good. But sorry about that for everybody who was tuning in. I don't even know where I cut you off.
I'm glad your electricity's back because, like, imagine the pandemic without electricity.
I know that would suck. It already happened to someone who we work with closely. Like they had a power line go down and
No.
yeah. So that's cool. That you know what? I'm so excited that this stayed on because the first thought that went through my mind was, "Damn it! I just cut off his story." Number two, this is record. So because I want to send you this, like I want to be able to send you. I'm going to break this down for you to use for your branding. I was like, "Damn! I don't know if this is going to like help, but I'm glad I'm back." So
yeah. So what part of the story?
You were just talking about like the conflicting part about like
right.
He was my cereal, and then she was like, "I want to talk about acceptance," and it was just like weird energy. But that's someone who you met before, yeah.
Yes, and then did I say that I complimented her or no?
Oh no, I think that's where you're trying to get to, yeah.
Yeah, so I said, "Oh, great job, you're amazing," and she says, "Oh, really? I feel like we were in a squabble." I feel like we were fighting the whole time. I was like, "Yo, I can't believe you're so honest with me." And then, but then I was just like, "I love you on The Good Place," and then I gave her a big hug. And then she's like, "Oh, you drew this?" Because I drew her for the image.
That's cool.
And then I was like, "Let's take a picture." And then she did the same exact pose as the picture, and I have that on my Instagram. You can scroll down and find it. It's like a prized possession. I love it. Oh, and also I met Charlie D'Amelio.
That's
like
dope. That's dope.
And I mean Charlie and Dixie and the whole fam. But like,
okay, they went. I saw that episode.
They were like, I mean, obviously it's like Charlie. No, whoa, like she was cool to talk to. She looks so regular in real life. You know, she's like a regular person. She's like a regular height.
Yeah.
She's like a regular cute, like you know, like it's just very interesting that she's so famous.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah, she's blown up from just being herself, like in dancing. So that's cool.
Yeah, but that's only two people that I like freaked out. Like,
Got it. That's cool. So if you were on Ellen and Ellen like on stage and was like, "Hey, what is your message that you're trying to share with the world?" You have 30 seconds on stage. Like, what would you say? What would you say to people?
Honestly, it changes every year, I would say. But I think like because I learn new things every year, and then it changes my focus.
I'm sure it's gonna keep changing. Yeah.
Yeah. So like when I actually get on Ellen, hopefully, I could say, listen, I really feel that you have to like pursue what you really are feeling in your heart, And sometimes it can be hard. Sometimes people can tell you no, and it's very embarrassing sometimes, and you don't know how to start. But like, you can't be nervous, and you have to do, whether it's like, literally, I agree with Gary so much. Like, just like, you have to like jump in and stop thinking. And even though it's difficult, and you want to plan ahead, it's just, it's almost like I'm giving advice to my future self.
I love
Like,
it.
don't worry
Yeah.
so much. And I think, like, don't worry so much. Follow like what you're feeling in your heart, even if it doesn't make any sense, even if it's telling you to go somewhere random. Like, there's a reason that you're wanting this. The brain is more powerful than we realize, and so it's planning something, and it knows the probability of what's going to happen, and it's
Wow.
calculating something. So you got to listen. And yes, I think, be your authentic self, and that's what's good. And
Yo, Avital, you are dope. I love the fact that we got a chance to connect. One more time.
Thank you so much.
That's cool. That's cool. I'm still here.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, cool. One more time, real quick. Where can people find you? So Avital, Shtap,
Avital Shtap.
everywhere.
Google
them, and you should be able to find his website and check out what he's up to. But I appreciate you having the time to be on the show. And everybody who's on here, I appreciate every second you guys are on here. I appreciate the engagement. Amber, thank you so much for inviting your team. Is there anything that a project that you're working on that you need some support on? What can we do to help you? Like more exposure, more. What do you?
I love to get really stupid Instagram comments. So if so, like, literally, like, nothing like, "Hey, great job." Like comment some stupid joke, or like some dumb emoji. Like, that makes me happy, or way more than like, "Hey, like, I love and support." Just like, "Hey, wow." Like, cucumber emoji, and I'm like, thanks. Like, so, like, I think just like keep in touch, and make sure that I can keep answering your questions. DM me for advice anytime. I'm always here to help anybody. And hugs and love. That's my main asset that I can give.
That's awesome. So a lot of hugs, a lot of love, and a lot of stupid emoji on his Instagram post. That's amazing. All right, Facebook. Hey, I forgot to mention YouTube, but YouTube's on this as well. So much love to everybody. Hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your Friday, and hope you have a great weekend. I am signing off the live. Talk to you tomorrow morning.